Denise. Denise. It's Denise. It's Denise. It's Denise. It's Denise. It's a podcast party. It's a podcast party. It's a podcast party.
I gotta say, I feel like we're besties now after this. What's up, guys? It's Denise Salcedo. Hey there, everyone. It's Denise. Welcome to Speak Now Pro Wrestling. It is Friday night, February 18th, and we're going to be chatting about AEW Rampage that went on at an earlier start time today, which completely threw me off. It was kind of weird, to be honest. It was weird to watch AEW Rampage with light coming through my window. Normally, it's dark like this, so watching Rampage with light was definitely different. On top of that, we had WWE Smackdown. We are on the eve of Elimination Chamber, which is taking place tomorrow. And from the looks of it, it's looking to be a pretty interesting pay-per-view. I feel like we're going to have lots to talk about coming out of that show. But for the most part here today, this is going to be a super chill, super relaxed show because not much happened on SmackDown and not that much happened on Rampage. Like, really, the only stuff that really occurred is we got some, official matchups that were made for Revolution. But for the most part, like, it's going to be a pretty easy day today, everybody, which is nice for me, which means I get to end the day, the Friday night a lot earlier than I normally do, because normally I'm here till about like 9 o'clock. So right about now, I would be starting Rampage, everybody. But let's get into this, man. Let's talk about what did go on and what has been going down. But before we do, I'm going to kick things off with our first super chat of the night. I want to give some shout out here to Heidi Ho 77, a good friend of the show. Heidi Ho says, sorry I haven't been around. I took 3 weeks off of wrestling. What have I missed? Well, in terms of wrestling news, I feel like you've definitely missed a lot in the last 3 weeks. Obviously, the biggest story of them all being the Cody news. But if you want to get caught up on that, I would recommend Wednesday's podcast, because that's the day that I kind of went into that a whole lot, and that ended up being like almost 30-minute conversation, because there was just so much to talk about then. But thank you so much to Heidi Ho 77 for sending in this super chat. So this is a good comment here from Darth Steven, who says that both shows are pretty chill tonight. Super chill tonight, man. I was watching and I was like, I have nothing to tweet. And I was usually like, my go-to is I try to think of like funny jokes or, silly things to like tweet. And I was watching, I was like, I got nothing, man. Like, I'm dried up. There is nothing going on. But we did get some match announcements. So let's go ahead and get into AEW Rampage first and foremost, because today we got it a lot earlier. And like I said, it was a little bit different. And I think this kind of changed my viewing pattern. So the fact that Rampage went on before SmackDown, and, keep in mind that I'm sitting there all 3 hours every Friday watching these shows. And so for me, I kind of feel like AEW Rampage going on earlier is nice. It really is nice, but I still prefer it at the regular time, and I'm going to explain myself why. Now, obviously, we're going to go back to the regular time. This was just like a one-time thing, so it's really no big deal, right? But I just really felt that starting the show, like when I start watching SmackDown, I like to look forward to like the last hour of Rampage, because I know that, usually a lot more tends to go down on those shows. So for me, having watched Rampage and then going into SmackDown, it just felt like a really, really long night. So even though today I'm going to end the day a lot earlier, the night felt extra longer. So that's kind of how I felt about that. But let's go ahead and get into AEW Rampage. There were some things that I was not necessarily crazy about, and so let's just get right into it. We had Adam Cole versus the Dark Order's 10. But this was this was like an okay match. It wasn't anything out of this world. I wasn't necessarily, crazy about it. So what I really want to discuss is the finish to this match. I want to talk about the finish because I was not a fan of the finish whatsoever. So Adam Cole, hits a low blow on Dark Order's 10, hits the low blow, and that is essentially how he lands, the super kicks, hits the boom, and gets the win for this match. I'm sorry, but Adam Cole should be getting like a clean victory. I get it, the heel stuff. I get it. I'm not like a dork or anything, but I do not like the fact that Adam Cole necessarily had to hit the low blow in order to get the victory in this match against number 10. Because personally, it's like, you got Adam Cole, who's like supposed to be up here on the roster, and bless his heart, Dark Order 10 is not on the same level. And so for me, I was not a fan of seeing Adam Cole essentially have to hit the low blow in order to get this victory, especially because a major matchup was announced later on in the night that we are officially going to be seeing Hangman Adam Page versus Adam Cole for the AEW World Championship. And so, to be honest, guys, I was not a fan of this match. I was not a fan of the finish. And going into this match with Adam Cole and Hangman Page, I'm excited because I know it's going to be good. I know it's going to be good. But instead of me sitting here saying like, instead of me saying like, oh, it's definitely going to be Adam Cole, it's definitely going to be Adam Cole that's going to win because, we're bound to see Adam Cole versus Kenny Omega. I'll be honest, I don't want to see Adam Cole win. Like, I do not want to see Adam Cole win. I want to see Hangman Page stay champion. And I know that's probably not the direction that they're going to be headed in. We talked about this on Wednesday with there being, all of these options with Adam Cole being champion and whatnot. But personally, I just haven't been super crazy about what they've been doing with Adam Cole's run on AEW. So as of right now, I think they could have done just a little bit. I wanted him to feel a little bit more of a bigger deal heading into this. Like, I'm excited for this match again, just because I know it's going to be good. So what do you guys think? Let's get some thoughts in here. Are you guys like feeling me? Are you not feeling me? Let's see what we got here. Let's see. This is a comment from Ricky who says, feeling this match was not good. Sean Williams says 10 should have gotten a win on Dynamite or something just to prove he's a threat. But no, exactly. I'm sorry, but it's like I can't even remember the last time we saw him wrestle on Dynamite or Rampage. Like, if I can't remember that, and I legitimately don't remember when's the last time, but it's like, Adam Cole has been portrayed to be on a different level. So for me, it was just not believable. And I also didn't think that he needed to essentially, again, hit the low blow to get that win here. But we got people saying that Cole's not winning, that Page is retaining. And to be honest, I really do kind of hope that he does retain. I don't want to see Adam Page's AEW championship run come to an end. I don't. I liked what he did with Bryan Danielson, as you all know. I freaking loved that Texas Death match that he did with Lance Archer, and I don't want this to be like a quick stop and go. We're moving on to a new champion. I do not want that. But again, we're still 2 weeks away from AEW Revolution. There's still a lot more that can be done. But in regards to this whole Adam Cole thing, I was not necessarily like over the moon about it here. We got a comment here. This one is from Neil Childs, who says, I love Adam Cole, but his booking in AEW has been lackluster, and I would have had Adam Page then lose it to MJF at the next pay-per-view. I think a lot of us, I know a couple months ago, God, I'm forgetting the time frame, but like maybe like the end of last year, I was really thinking that at this point we would probably be doing like MJF and Adam Page. I think that's the direction that I thought we were going to be heading in, especially because, we were already setting up. We already knew that they were going to be doing MJF and CM Punk. So you're wondering like, okay, if he gets the win from CM Punk, is he going to go directly into this story with Adam Page? Is he going to go into something with Wardlow? Like, what's going to be the big Revolution match? So in terms of like, technically speaking, it's going to be a phenomenal match, but I'm just not necessarily like too wild again of the booking of Adam Cole. So let's go ahead and see what else we got here. And this is a comment from the Santrovert who says, Page needs to defend the title belt at this pay-per-view. He has my permission to lose. I like how you're granting the permission. That's hilarious. All right, let's go ahead and continue on, everybody. Let's get this going with everything here. We also have another comment. This one is from Isaac Looper, who says, I love his booking. People need to stop with the NXT praise of Adam Cole. You see, here's the thing though. Like, I'm gonna say no. And here's why that I don't agree with this, because he's already in the main event. He's going to be in the main event, or excuse me, not the main event, excuse me, the main title picture, for the AEW World Championship against Adam Page. All right. Why shouldn't we have the praise of NXT Adam Cole? Why shouldn't that be part of it? There is no harm whatsoever in us seeing him the same way that we saw him on NXT on AEW, especially if he's going up against the champion. So I actually have to disagree with this, and I don't see a problem whatsoever with the praise of NXT, Adam Cole in AEW. Like, that's the whole freaking point. Here's what I'm saying. Like, people were making, like, we were all excited about Adam Cole going to AEW. Like, why? Why were we excited for Adam Cole going to AEW? Because of the great work we saw him do in NXT, and knowing that he kind of had already been there, done it all that he could possibly do in NXT, and to see a continuation or an extension of that on AEW. So I don't necessarily totally agree with that. Ooh, I thought today was going to be a chill show. All right, let's see what else we got here. And people say they want an NXT version of Adam Cole. Like, again, it's nice to have the extension, okay? Like, that's the point. Like, that was why people were excited to see him in AEW. It's kind of like with Bryan Danielson, right? And, granted, Bryan Danielson, I still see him as at a way higher level than Adam Cole, but that's not to take away anything from Adam Cole. That's just to praise Bryan Danielson for all his stuff. But it's like, okay, Bryan Danielson, people were excited when he went to AEW. Why? Because you knew that you were going to be seeing, Bryan Danielson times 100, in the sense of, like, it's not like Bryan Danielson was doing bad work in WWE, because he wasn't. He was having good matches in WWE too. But hey, now he's in AEW, and we know we're going to be seeing Bryan Danielson, like I said, times 100 though. And I think that's what's a lot of people's expectations, or what people thought we would probably be seeing from Adam Cole. So again, I'm looking forward to this match because I know what Adam Cole can bring, and I just think that Adam Page is doing a phenomenal job at proving himself as champion. So I'm excited to see them get in there and mix it up. But yeah, that's pretty much how I felt about that here. And Darth Steven says, from chill show to a passionate Denise. Yeah. Oh man, good thing we got action going on this show. Good. All right, let's go ahead and hop into this next topic here for AEW Rampage, and we got the Face of the Revolution ladder match, and this is Dante Martin versus Powerhouse Hobbs. And you all know, if you've been here for the prior shows, where I was like, all right, this is the match I'm most looking forward to, because Dante Martin's going to go out there and be like a high flyer, obviously. And Powerhouse Hobbs is going to show his power. I mean, it's in the guy's name, man. So anyways, this was a fun match. I think this was probably my favorite match of the night. It was totally different from the main event, so I kind of really feel like I can't really compare too much, like apples and oranges, but I really did enjoy this Face of the Revolution qualifying match. So it was what you were expecting. You were expecting to see Dante go and hit all of his, high-flying stuff. And what I loved was that anytime you saw him, go to the top rope or anything like that, you had a nice, counter from Powerhouse Hobbs, where like he would knock him down, toss him across the ring. But the one thing that really stuck with me, and this was something that commentary mentioned, and the second they mentioned it, I kind of like feel like I read a little bit more into it, but it was them pointing out a lot of the similar things that he was doing, like Keith Lee. And in that sense, so they brought up the fact that he did, a similar toss. It wasn't as impressive as Keith Lee's, but he still, tossed Dante Martin to the other side of the ring, which was very impressive regardless. Also did the big shoulder tackle, really showed his strength, right? So part of me started reading more into this, and I started to think like, is this a subtle, tease in terms of like, are we gonna eventually get Powerhouse Hobbs and Keith Lee? Because I almost feel that this was Hobbs basically saying, we don't need Keith Lee. You guys think we need Keith Lee? We don't need Keith Lee because you've got me. Just like a lot of the similarities that we were seeing and what he was doing during this match kind of made me feel like he wanted to show people like, hey, you guys got all excited about Keith Lee. Well, guess what? I can do the same things too. So for me, it makes me wonder like, obviously we end up seeing Powerhouse Hobbs. He is the one that ends up winning this match, defeats Dante Martin. So he's headed to the Face of the Revolution ladder match. He joins Keith Lee and Wardlow. So now it's like, we got nothing but big dudes in this match. So personally, I'm excited for that because this is a ladder match. So I think a lot of us were probably expecting to see Dante Martin win this, given that he's going to be the type of guy that is, doing all of the fancy high spots off the ladders and stuff like that, right? Like you got more than enough of a beefy dude. You already got enough. You already got enough with Keith Lee. How you could have had enough with just Wardlow, right? So I think a lot of people are kind of seeing the who's in it so far. But I like it, though. I like that we have all of this, big, beefy men. I think that's going to bring a new dynamic into this ladder match. So personally, I'm looking forward to it. I'm curious as to who the other three are going to be. I forget if they already announced another qualifying match. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But regardless, we're going to need some like high flyers in there pretty soon. They're going to have to add a couple of those in there. Let me think what else I wanted to say here. I think I got most of it, but I do really feel like there's going to be some good stuff, specifically between Keith Lee and Hobbs in that ladder match. All right, let's see what we got here, guys. Let's get some comments in here. Angel Chris says Denise likes big, beefy men. Hell freaking yes, man. If you're a big beefy guy and you can do cool shit, like I'm even more into you, like regardless. And like a lot of people have probably already heard me say this, but like one of my favorite people, like flat out in this like world to watch wrestle is legitimately Willie Mack. I freaking love that dude. That dude's freaking crazy. He's a big dude. He does cool stuff. He's actually somebody that I like to mention a lot because he is so ridiculously underrated and it bugs the hell out of me, but I love him. I love freaking Jonah, who I got to see last night at New Japan Strong, and I was in the front row, and I haven't been front row in forever. Like I got really lucky to be front row, and I'm watching, and I'm looking at freaking Jonah. He comes through, right, and obviously I'm seeing the action up close, and I'm like, bro, are you freaking nuts? Like it was just kind of crazy to see him do things at the size that he does in person. Like you see it on TV, it's one thing, but in person, it's a whole other thing. And like, oh God, I went to give shout. Jeff Cobb is another person who's like freaking huge and so impressive as well. So it's people like Jonah, Willie Mack, Jeff Cobb that personally, like I gravitate towards. Like I remember like, even back in the day, I gravitated towards Samoa Joe because, Samoa Joe is a big guy that did, that kicked a lot of ass. So like for me, that was somebody that I was also a fan of. So yeah, I think that's how I feel about that. Alrighty, let's go ahead and continue on, everybody. Let's see what else we got here. And we got a lot of people putting up, putting over all the big, meaty men. Someone says, Zeno Howard says 3 big men slapping me in a ladder match. Those poor ladders, they must be terrified right now. Super terrified. All right, let's continue on. So after this, we find out that we're going to be getting the Bunny versus Jade Cargill. I think that is her 28th opponent, and that's going to be taking place next week. After this, we get the Serena Deeb 5-minute rookie challenge where she faces Angelica Risk, and this is her AEW Rampage debut. This is just Serena Deeb going out there, having fun with her opponent, beating her the way that she wants to beat her and toying with her the way that she wants to toy with her. She's starts off and she's not really like looking at the clock. She's taking her time. But then finally, I think around like when there's like 3 minutes or so left is when she hits the power bomb, hits a Serenity Lock, and gets the win. So there's really, it's for me, my whole thing now with the Serena Deeb 5-minute rookie challenges. This is the second one that we've had. So now I'm just like, all right, I'm waiting to see what the end game is going to be here. Like, what is going to be the end game? Or how long are we going to keep this going until somebody who's going to be the person that like comes in and actually lasts the 5 minutes, or maybe even surprisingly defeats Serena Deeb within those 5 minutes? Like, something like that has got to happen. So I'm like, even though this isn't my favorite part of the show, because I just, it's kind of predictable until you actually get the the person that's going to come in and actually cause some sort of, some sort of forward movement in the storyline. Everything before is just kind of like, all right, cool, whatever, But once we actually get to like the person that is going to either, again, like I said, defeat her or last those 5 minutes, that's when it's going to start getting interesting for me. So right now it's just like, okay, cool, we're making our way towards it. But we actually got 2 super chats right now. This one's from Heidi Ho 77, who says, if WWE can have 3 women's matches in Saudi Arabia, AEW can do more with their women than what they are. It's getting on my nerves, says Heidi Ho. And here's the thing too, like, I feel, and we'll talk about this more once we actually talk about one of the major women's matches that was announced, but I was thinking about this, and I'm honestly feeling like they could have done a lot more with Britt Baker's AEW Women's Championship run, especially now that there's a possibility that it could be ending. I might as well bring this up now. They officially announced that we are going to be getting Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker at AEW Revolution for the AEW Women's World Championship. However, this feels to me it feels a little rushed. And the reason why I say that, like, when the announcement happened, I was surprised. Not that I wasn't expecting this match, but it was just more so of like, oh, and by the way, Tony Khan has made it official. We're going to be getting Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa. And I'm thinking like, man, this is something that should have felt like a bigger, it should have been like a bigger moment where like one of them, where Thunder Rosa challenges her on the mic, or maybe Britt Baker says, I've had it with you. And just given the story that we've been seeing with like Mercedes Martinez and the incorporation of Jamie Hayter and all of that, my original thought was, they've been doing, like, I know the end game is going to be Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa, right? That's the end game, right? But I thought they were going to do possibly at Revolution, just to kind of keep it, just to push it a little bit more down the line, and maybe do it at the next pay-per-view. And I know that's so much time from then on. But I think that I was expecting them to probably do like Mercedes Martinez and Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. But so it kind of felt like, I don't know, like, I'm wondering if there's going to be any changes made to that match. And if not, like, I'm excited for it, but I really want this to be the moment for Thunder Rosa. Like, if they are, fully 100% going to do this match, which, from the looks of it, they are, I really want this to be Thunder Rosa's moment. Because if this is not her moment, it would feel like the window has closed on that, Like, there's a window of opportunity for Thunder Rosa to, have her moment and get the title from Britt Baker. And I think that this is definitely it. On top of that, and I did see a couple of people mention this on my Twitter feed, I really do hope that they add some sort of stipulation. I think that given what, these two women have done in the past, I would like to see a stipulation added to this match, just to, kind of cater a little bit to their history. So we'll see if that happens, but I really do hope that that Thunder Rosa officially wins the title. But here's the other thing, and this is what got me thinking about the Britt Baker situation, was, all right, so I'm totally ready for Thunder Rosa to be champion, right? And a majority of the comments from people that I got were people saying that they too want Thunder Rosa to already be the champion. Cool. But then I started thinking like, damn, did we really get that much out of the Britt Baker run? Like, legitimately, think about it. Did we really get that much with Britt Baker's run? And Britt Baker's so incredibly talented. And just like it was such a big deal when she won the title and she got like such a massive pop. And I know because I was there. It was such a big deal when she won the title, but I don't really feel like I think her run could have definitely felt a little bit stronger. I think they could have given her, more time, more matches, etc. Just more featuring her more as your AEW Women's World Champion. So that's kind of where I'm at on that, where it's like, damn, like I don't want to see this end for Britt Baker because there's still so much more that I believe they could have done, but I don't feel that window should be. I feel that window is, it could close really soon for Thunder Rosa to essentially have her moment there. So I do hope that she has her moment at AEW Revolution. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. It's going to be a good match, but I do hope that they add a stipulation. And yeah, I do think that they should add more women's matches, of course. Mr. EMJ sends in a super chat saying, guys that are big and can move are the best. OG big man that could move was one of my all-time fave, Bam Bam Bigelow. Jeff Cobb should have won the G1. I love Jeff Cobb, man. He's such an awesome guy. But yeah, shout out to Bam Bam Bigelow as well. Thank you so much to Mr. EMJ for sending in this super chat. And we got another super chat. This one is from Christopher Marina, who says, I hope it's Athena, that surprise rookie. Yeah, dude, she's awesome. People have been rooting for her. For those of you guys who are like, who's Athena? Formerly known as Ember Moon over on the WWE side of things. She's awesome. People are rooting for her. They want to see her, in AEW. She would add so much to that division. So yeah, I do hope that she is, a surprise person coming in there pretty soon. Hopefully. We'll see. I don't know. We got another super chat. This one's from Mr. EMJ, who says, I wouldn't be mad if it was Athena or Mia Yim, but my gut feeling says it should be a person that is unknown, someone that is a huge homegrown AEW talent. Well, with the whole thing about like the Serena Deeb rookie challenge, I think it should, I think it should be somebody that, comes in from the outside. Like Athena, I think that would be cool, where it's like, oh, because it would because Serena Deeb's a heel, right? And, she's been kind of like, she's been like, super mean to all these girls during this 5-minute rookie challenge. So I think in the end, you want to see Serena Deeb get a taste of her own medicine, right? So who's going to give her a taste of her own medicine but somebody like an Athena or a Mia Yim? So it'd kind of be like, oh, your little plan, Serena Deeb, it backfired on you. So that's kind of where we're at with that. So who knows? We'll see. Thank you so much to Mr. EMJ. Like, it's got to be a big payoff, I think. Like, it's got to be a big payoff. Someone, we'll see what happens. All right. Let me go ahead and continue on as we continue going here. I'm gonna make sure that I didn't miss anybody's comments here. All right. Let's go ahead and get into that AEW Revolution card then, because we got some official announcements, which we kind of already spoke about, but let's just kind of touch on that really quickly. So we have the Face of the Revolution ladder match, Keith Lee, Wardlow, and Powerhouse Hobbs. We still got 3 more to be determined. So hopefully we add some high flyers in there just to, spice things up a little bit. I want to see some cool spots. All right. CM Punk versus MJF in that dog collar match, with which we already knew as of this Wednesday. I'm hoping that's going to be a, violent match. I'm looking forward to that. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus versus two teams, which are to be determined as well. We're going to find out this Wednesday who is going to be one of those teams. And then the following week, we'll find out who the last team is going to be. So that's going to be kind of fun. I like how they're doing this, where it's like one week we're doing the Casino Battle Royale. And then next week, I forgot what they're doing for the second team to be announced. So that's going to be fun as well. We just talked about Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa for the AEW Women's title. I do hope that they add a stipulation. Adam Page versus Adam Cole for the AEW World Championship. That's going to be a good match too. Lastly, let's go ahead and get into this main event, which was Tremperetta versus Jay White. And they gave, Tremperetta has been doing great work since he came back to AEW. He's been doing great work. Like, I've been feeling like a bigger fan of his than I probably was prior to all of this. So I was happy to see him in this match with Jay White. They gave him a lot during this match. The crowd was really into it as well. one of my favorite portions really was just really seeing Jay White and Trent Beretta just exchange lefts and rights. It was Trent who then hit like a lariat on Jay White, and then afterwards we had a couple of near falls, not too many. I think we had like maybe 2 or 3 if I recall counting correctly. And then from here and on, we get Jay White who hits the Blade Runner for the win. So this was a good match. I didn't think it was as good as I hoped it would be. I think though it was like okay. I think like in terms of like Rampage main events, I've seen better. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. So I wasn't necessarily too totally blown away here. But they did tease Jay White and Orange Cassidy. I don't know if this is going to happen, you know, on a Dynamite or a Rampage or maybe, and I kind of hope that they do end up doing it maybe at Revolution or something like that. So let's see what people are saying here. This one's from Christopher Marino, who sends in a super chat. It says, super chat just for you for killing it and starting a second channel. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Christopher. For those of you guys who don't know what Christopher is talking about, for the last, this is going to sound really ridiculous, but for the last year and a half, I swear to God, a whole year and a half, I have been debating and arguing with myself and causing myself gray hairs and stress because I did not know what to do with my YouTube channel. And it caused me a great deal of stress because I started off this channel as a pop culture wrestling channel. And I kind of did good on both ends. Like I developed a pop culture following and I also developed a wrestling following. And then my wrestling life took off and I started getting more opportunities with that. So that started to fill the channel. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not doing any of the stuff that I was doing before. And to be honest, guys, I was starting to get very like down about it, where I really just kind of didn't feel like myself. I felt like this one thing was consuming my entire life. And I didn't like that. I did not like that. And I wanted a challenge. I wanted something where I feel like I just didn't do one thing. And so I finally decided to start the second channel. And so that channel is now getting started. And that's going to be the full pop culture channel. So basically what I'm trying to get at is I'm now running two YouTube channels on top of my other responsibilities. But thank you so much. I didn't mean to go off on a full tangent there. But thank you so much to Christopher Marino for sending this in. Thank you so much to the Mayaj Kolataz for sending in this super chat. I appreciate you. And we got another one from Heidi Ho 77 who says $5 for dropping the F-bomb on Ollie. So get this. So Ollie and I have never done a show together, okay? Ollie's my boss, okay, on Wrestle Talk, okay? And Ollie and I have never done a show together. So we've only talked, like legitimately, Ollie and I have only talked on Quizlemania. And and then afterwards, like he was actually the person who like mentored me. And with the YouTube channel stuff, he was the kind of the person that he literally spent like an hour of his life, which I'll forever be thankful for Ollie. Spent like an hour of his life basically telling me like, this is what you should do. Like, let's kind of go over what you're thinking and all of this. So he kind of like, he was the person that, you know, gave me the reassurance and whatnot. But regardless, like aside from that, like Ollie and I haven't really had much conversation. So I wanted to go in and do a good job today because I was like, you know, at the end of the day, he's my boss and, you know, I want to do a good job. And this is our first show together. And then I cursed and I was like, dang, I felt terrible. I was like, oh no. But he didn't get as mad as Luke does. So that's good to know. All right. Thank you so much to Heidi Ho 77. We got another super chat. This one's from Sheldon Jackson who says, who do you think turns on best friends first? Wheeler, Yuta, or Trent? I could see it happening for Trent, possibly, just because I feel like Trent could kind of be like, you know, I'm doing all this stuff. Like, I don't need to be tied up with anybody. I don't know. That could be a possibility. But Wheeler Yuta is also like, I like Wheeler Yuta, but I'm going to go with Trent just for fun. Thank you so much to Sheldon Jackson for also sending this one in here today. All right, let's go ahead and get into SmackDown, everybody. We only got a couple of things to talk about. Like I said, this is probably going to be a shorter stream here today. There's not that much to talk about, to be honest. I think tomorrow is going to be the day, obviously, where there's more to discuss given the Elimination Chamber is taking place tomorrow morning. So let's get into this SmackDown review. We got a contract signing between Ronda Rousey and Naomi and Sonya and Charlotte Flair. All you need to know from this is that we now have the stipulation for their tag team match that's occurring tomorrow morning, and it's just going to be where Ronda Rousey is wrestling with one arm tied behind her back. And that is all you need to know. We actually got a pretty good match between Ricochet and Sheamus. I liked this a whole lot. This was a really good win for Ricochet. They had him go in and hit all of his, good moments. He right off the top, he hits a tope on Sheamus. We see Ricochet chop Sheamus. We see Sheamus stop him with like a nice forearm. We see a nice knee strike from Ricochet to Sheamus. We see him do a series of moves where he hits a series of spots where he hits a flying elbow, he hits a crossbody, he does a standing moonsault, he does a springboard moonsault. I mean, the hits from Ricochet here. Loved all of that. There's a moment where Sheamus tosses him over to the commentary table. Sheamus hits him with an Alabama slide. We see Ricochet hit a Spanish fly, goes for the pin. It's a near fall. Ridge Holland tries to cause a distraction so that Sheamus could get the win, but instead it backfires and Ricochet gets the win. This was like one of the best matches that I have seen on SmackDown in the last couple of weeks. So thumbs up on this one. I was a big fan of this match. Really liked it. Great win for Ricochet. He really needed this. And I also liked that they officially teased a breakup, they kind of teased a breakup between Sheamus and Ridge Holland. And basically Sheamus got like pissed off at Ridge Holland and like shoved him and was like kind of upset about, him getting in the way and essentially costing him the match. So I'm like, yes, give us a story here. There's no story. Give us a story. Break up Sheamus and Ridge Holland. I'm here for it. They don't need to be together. Break them up. Give us something. So yeah, I liked that this gave Ricochet a good win, and I like where we're doing something with Sheamus and Ridge Holland. All right. We got a super chat from Richard Dusty Murray who says, the knock on the door is Malachi's video was actually Denise taking a wrong turn to go to the bathroom. Denise rocks, suck it, Sean. Thank you so much to oh my God, I can't talk anymore. Richard Dusty Murray. I appreciate you sending in the super chat, and I got my my poop emoji somewhere here. Well, you guys see it. It's right here on the little setup here. But thank you so much to Richard for sending in a super chat and making me laugh. At first, I was like, where is he going with this? What's happening? I appreciate that. All right, let's see what we got. After this, we got Ivar versus Jay Uso. We know that we're going to be seeing the Viking Raiders and the Usos tomorrow at Elimination Chamber. This was like an okay little match. Ivar hits his splash off the top rope. He goes for the pin and they make it seem like he's going to get the win, but instead Jimmy Uso comes in and he ends up causing a DQ when he breaks up the pin. So it ends up being a disqualification, and Ivar wins via DQ. That was it. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. So I'm really good at avoiding spoilers, everybody. Obviously, this was a pre-taped episode since they are all flying to Saudi. I sadly ruined the results for this match for myself. I went on to check when was the last time that Shinsuke Nakamura actually defended the Intercontinental Championship, because I wanted to have a concrete time period to tell you guys. So I went on and I accidentally spoiled the results for myself. But so the last time, so keep in mind that Shinsuke Nakamura won the title at SummerSlam or in August or something. I think he won it at SummerSlam. And it really, afterwards, he defended the title. The last time he defended the Intercontinental Championship was in September, the end of September against Apollo Crews. Now, granted, he defended it on all the, the house shows and whatnot, but I'm talking like televised on SmackDown. It was September against Apollo Crews. So you're talking like, 5 months where we had not seen Shinsuke defend the Intercontinental Championship. And it was funny too, because when he came out, they were like, oh, he's been champion for 170 something days. And I'm like, yeah, but for like 100 days or so, like, he hasn't defended the title at all. So I think a lot of people knew that this was going to be it for Sami Zayn. And there are so Sami Zayn wins the Intercontinental Championship, but now a lot of people, and I don't know where this came from, I might be missing something, but from people are thinking that this is going to be Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville. I don't know where that came from. I missed that completely, but I kept seeing it all over my freaking timeline, and I was like, Jesus. I hope not, but I kind of feel like the Intercontinental Championship, regardless of what they do with Sami Zayn, I really hope that they do something good with this, because they haven't done anything with the belt where like it's gotten to the point where it doesn't mean anything at all. It might as well be the 24/7 championship. In fact, they've done more with the 24/7 championship than with the Intercontinental Championship. So doesn't even really matter. And alrighty, let's see what we got here. And Sean Williams says Sami finally getting a push, then goes to WrestleMania to face Johnny Knoxville in a comedy stunt match. I have no idea. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into the last and final thing. Roman Reigns and Goldberg confront each other. They have their big match tomorrow, and that is legitimately it. That is all that happened on SmackDown. I don't know. Oh, I should have timed how long. I think it took me less than 10 minutes to recap SmackDown, which is not bad. I'm glad I extended it to 10 minutes. Alrighty, everyone. This is the final super chat that I'm going to be reading, everybody. But before I go, tomorrow is a loaded day, okay? So tomorrow I'm going to be on Fightful pretty much all day. I got 2 streams up there. In the morning, I'll be doing Elimination Chamber coverage. And then Sean and I will have a show immediately after, and we'll be chatting, and there are theories going around. Some people are expecting to see Cody at Elimination Chamber. I don't know if that's too extreme. I don't know if it's possible. At this point, I don't know nothing. So we'll find out tomorrow what goes down. But either way, Elimination Chamber is going to give us a very clearer view of what we can expect to come at for what we can expect to see at WrestleMania. So it's going to be a good time regardless. So you guys can catch us there. And then immediately after, well, not immediately after, a couple hours later, Impact Wrestling is putting on No Surrender, and that's going to be a pretty good show. I do all of the Impact like pay-per-view coverage over for Fightful as well. So I will be on there with Steven Jensen. As if you haven't seen Steven and I, we do the Impact shows. Really fun, really chill. So if you're like an Impact Wrestling fan and you're like, yeah, someone's actually talking about Impact, that's the place to be. So I'll be there doing Elimination Chamber coverage and also the No Surrender coverage. It's going to be a long day and a lot of wrestling, but we're going to get through it. The last and final super chat that I'm reading, this is from Mike Parker. Thank you so much to Mike, who is a good friend of the show here too. Mike says, we don't need a Ricochet and Aaliyah romance angle. Thank you. I forgot to bring that up. I just hate the way they write romance angles with adults acting like they are in junior high. Do you watch NXT, Mike? You need to watch NXT 2.0. That's the show for you. Thank you so much to Mike Parker for sending in this super chat. Alrighty, everybody. That is it. That is SmackDown. That is AEW Rampage. I will see you guys here next week. Also, next week, I start working more with F4W. Starting next week, you're going to be seeing some additional videos, news videos that are going to be put on this channel. It's going to be very exciting. I cannot wait. They're going to be shot, edited, and produced by yours truly. Very short news videos are going to be starting to go up on this channel. I cannot wait. And on top of that, I'm also writing more for F4W. I'm going to be writing like feature articles based off of the interviews that I do on my channel, one of which I just put up, and it's somewhere up on the website. I interviewed David Finlay ahead of the New Japan Strong show, and we kind of really just talked about his time at the New Japan Dojo, you know, being Fit Finlay's son, all of that, interest in WWE, and just so much of that stuff. And the interview's up on my channel, but if you're more of a reader, you can also read the article, which I wrote, which I'm very proud of, and is up on the website right now. So you'll be seeing a lot of that stuff on there. And so I officially get started Monday with all of that. So It's going to be a crazy schedule. But either way, I will see you guys Tuesdays, Wednesday, and Friday on this channel. Until next time, have a great weekend, everybody. Bye, everyone.